What is good, people? It's Anime K here, and we are back with another video. And today we're going to be not reacting, but we're going to be looking at the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 2 manga, and just gonna be talking about with you guys. And this is a little different type of video. I'm going to be actually just reading through it with you guys. Now, I've already read it, but I'm going to go through it and just point out, you know, the points that I liked, the points that were interesting, the new information that we got from this chapter, and yeah, and will we find out if Sasuke is alive or not? Let's find out. I mean, I already know, but I mean, you guys might not know. So that's something new, right? But let's go across. So in this first chapter, we see Boruto has appeared and he is against Code. Now, from this chapter, right, I can see Boruto's style, even though he talks, is more like Sasuke's now than ever. Because if you remember Sasuke, he was very cocky, right? He was like, look, I'm going to kill you. Like, I saw Sasuke would approach most of his fights. He would just straight up tell you he's going to kill you, and he doesn't care what you have to say. He's just going to kill you, and he's going to warn you. And if you don't listen, he's going to kill you. I mean, let's look here, right? Withdraw your monsters, all of them. Do it now while you're still able to control them, and I'll let you live. That's how he first comes in when he speaks to Code. You remove your monsters, or I'm going to let you live. So as you see, his dialogue, it's more like Sasuke's. Again, more shit talk from Boruto. You obviously heard me, so hurry up, do it, or else you'll lose more than your left eye this time. Now, this sentence right here is interesting. You obviously heard me, so hurry up and do it, or else you will lose more than your left eye this time. This doesn't exactly indicate that it was Boruto that hurt his left eye. Boruto could have had a part. We know Boruto at least had a part in it because of the way he says, hurry up or you'll lose your left eye this time, because obviously Code has lost his right eye. But it's strongly indicating that Boruto definitely had a big part in whatever happened to Code's eye, right? Now, a lot of people thought that Code, he got his eye slashed and then took Sasuke's eye, but from the way Boruto's talking here, I don't know, it doesn't feel like to me that Code has Sasuke's eye. Now, he could still, don't get me wrong, but from the way Boruto's talking and the way he's so confident, right? It doesn't sound to me that he has Sasuke's eye. Now, could Sasuke still be dead? Potentially, but it doesn't sound like to me that Code has his eye. But still, we get more shit talk here, and then obviously Boruto here tells Sarada they'll talk later and to go help out. And you can see Sarada is visibly worried about Boruto, you know, I think even Sarada can see there's a change in Boruto. Now we've got Ina Shikacho fighting against the Ten Tails. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty cool scene, right? Ina Shikacho, pretty cool, you know, but nothing really too interesting about that. Just them fighting, and more fights here as well. You know, Chojo again having to be saved. I'm sorry, but Chojo to me, she's one of the most uninteresting characters like in the whole series. Like, she's just not interesting at all. She has the same personality like her dad, where she likes to eat a lot, but even her dad was an interesting character. Her, I don't know, she's just not an interesting character to me. I just had to voice that. I don't know if there's any Chojo fans that will be watching this, but she's just not an interesting character. We see Himimari. So why is Himimari this close to the battlefield as well? But Himimari's here, and obviously, what's his name? Inajin tries to save her, and then here comes Kawaki out of my way, coming to save his sister. Boom, kicks the Ten Tails out of the way. You know, there's been mixed opinions on Kawaki's new style, but I like it. I think he looks really cool. And people say they're not dressed like ninjas, but you gotta remember, the whole theme of Boruto is like the new age and the new dress sense. I don't know if people are dressing like this in Japan, because I doubt it, but it's kind of like the new era in terms of Boruto, right? Now, this is another interesting part here. So she goes, thanks, big bro. And he goes, how many times do I have to tell you not to call me that? Now, that's weird to me, because I thought he would allow Himimari to at least treat him like a big brother. Like, obviously he knows that the places have been switched, and he knows that she sees him as her actual brother, but it's kind of weird to me that he would say, don't call me that. Maybe he's feeling guilty because he's technically the reason why, one, she doesn't have an actual big brother, and two, why she doesn't have a parent. So maybe it's guilt talking, but I don't know. But it's kind of sad to see Himimari sad. Judging from this here, I'm guessing it's been very hard for Himimari, especially because if he's saying how many times do I have to tell you that, that means on multiple occasions he's told her, I'm not your brother. Even though the brainwashed has made her think that that is her brother. That might be why she was questioning in the first chapter whether, you know, whether Boruto's a bad guy or if her parents are alive, because she might be questioning it judging by how Kawaki's treating her. But I don't know, but let's move on. So we get more fights here. You see Kawaki and all of them fighting again and again. I don't know how Kawaki doesn't see the Ten Tails, but he gets smashed into the ground. Now this is the interesting part here, because now we finally get to see Code versus Boruto. And we see Boruto, he looks very handy with a sword. Boruto wielding a sword, man, he looks cool. Now I don't know about Boruto's outfit. He kind of looks like, how do I put it? You know, he kind of looks like the clothes are too big for him. Like, especially that cloak as well. It looks way too big for him. I don't know if it will look better when it's actually animated, but I don't know. It looks like what he's wearing is just like 1 or 2 sizes too big for him. I guess it wasn't a complete bluff. Yeah, so now Code's realizing that Boruto is actually strong. If you insist on pressing on, you'll lose every one of them. You're being pretty cocky. These don't even add up to a drop in the bucket. Besides, they're just tools anyway. So even Code's noticed that Boruto has a very cocky attitude, right? So it must be that Boruto, he must have at least either trained well, or like I said before, he's just adopted a lot of Sasuke's mannerisms. Now this right here, this is an interesting line. You don't understand the true horror of the Ten Tails. Now, what a lot of people took from this, they took multiple things from this line. So one thing people took is, if you've seen that manga panel of where someone stood in the background in the Naruto manga during the 4th Great Snowblood War, that someone stood in the background and people thought, or people are theorizing that that is Boruto. Now, I don't know if this line is alluding to the fact that Boruto went back in time and actually seen the Ten Tails in full action, or if he's just going based off the stories that he's heard from other adults, right? Still, I think it would be cool, you know, if Kishimoto planted Boruto in there from that far back. It would be cool, but what are my opinions on it? I don't think so. A lot of people say it's Sakura. I don't know if Kishimoto would have thought that far back personally. Especially how many times in Naruto that he had to kind of cover stuff up. But I don't think he would have thought that far back to have put Boruto there. But I think it would be cool anyway. And you know what? Even if he didn't think that far back, he could just add it in there anyway. I mean, no one's really going to dispute it or argue with him. He could just be like, yeah, I planned it, and people will probably just accept it. Well, I think it's a cool theory, but you can take what you want from this statement. I take that he'd heard from probably Naruto, or maybe even while he was traveling with Sasuke and training with Sasuke, that Sasuke told him about the Ten Tails. They had a lot of time together. They probably would have talked about Sasuke's past and the Ototsukis and when they first appeared. So I'm guessing it's that. We see Sarada pulling out the Chidori. So Sarada's pulling out all the juices here. You know what? I'll say it again, right? Sarada's fit, I think, looks really cool as well. Really, really cool. Even the Jonin here is impressed. Wow, you're really just again in, what, does it matter what my rank is? No, it doesn't, Sarada. I mean, and again, I think that's showing Naruto's influence over her, the fact that Naruto was only a Genin and became Hokage. So I think that's where that statement comes from, because obviously we know she wants to follow in Naruto's footsteps. Now this is very interesting. This part. So Sarada again nearly gets sneak attacked. What's going on with both Kawaki and now Sarada gets sneak attacked by these Ten Tails beasts, codes, animals, right? But obviously this Jonin jumps in, saves her. But what's interesting is he turns into a tree. So I'm guessing what we can see here is, look, you can't let the Ten Tails bite you because you're going to turn into a tree, and I'm guessing he'll eventually probably die from turning into that tree. And then we get this whole dialogue. So Ko's like, I know plenty about the Ten Tails, obviously. They devour Otosuki. Well, in truth, they're beasts that will just instinctively bite anybody in their vicinity until they eventually run into an Otosuki. That might normally be the case, but these ones are different thanks to you enhancing them. And again, right, Boruto's cockiness comes into play. He warns him again, saying, look, I'm gonna give you another chance, get out of here or I'm gonna kill you. He says, it ain't too late. You need to scrap them while you still hold their reins, or else we'll end up in the worst possible future for everyone. So this statement, what could Boruto mean by that? Now, what Boruto is saying is, look, the Ten Tails obviously was a really, really strong entity, right? I mean, the Ten Tails is basically all the 9-tailed beasts put together, right? That's how the Ten Tails is about. And what he's saying is, if Code loses control of that Ten Tails, then, you know, it could be a problem. One, more Otosuki could show up, right? And want to use the Ten Tails. And two, the Otosuki, the Ten Tails is just strong in general. I mean, you've seen it in the 4th Great Snowblood War. It's a strong beast and would take a lot to contain. But Code basically, he just says here, look, he doesn't care. I mean, And I don't know what Boruto was expecting here, because Cody's following in Ishiki's footsteps, isn't he? The world getting destroyed, that's what Code probably wants anyway. Now, what I see with Code as a character is, you know, his motivations, they kind of seem a bit stale. He doesn't really have much motivation. I know he wants to become an Otosuki, right? But the world getting destroyed, would that really be to his best benefits? I don't know. I think Code's motivations are a bit stale, to be honest. I don't know. You guys let me know if you agree with that. I guess there's no cure for idiocy. And then Boruto pulls out the Rasengan. And that is the chapter, right? That's done? Yeah, that is the chapter. Now, I want to go over some important parts more in detail in different videos, but I just wanted to kind of post a video of me scamming through the chapter and really pointing out important pieces of information. What I'll say again, I'll go over it. I think Boruto, he's changed. He's a lot more like Sasuke now. His demeanor, stance, the way he talks, his confidence is a lot like Sasuke, but at the same time, you know, he's still using the Rasengan. He's probably going to pull out some shadow clones, so he still has his dad's influence in him. Also, Sarada, I mean, her pulling out the Chidori, the Fireball Jutsu, getting to see her fight a bit. One thing I'll say though, we're still not seeing her activate her Sharingan yet, which is a bit weird, because you'd think against some of Code's monsters she would activate her Sharingan, right? Which is a bit weird, but I guess Kishimoto for some reason still doesn't want to show us her MS abilities. Whether that's he's not come up with her abilities yet, or he's just, you know, waiting for the right time, I don't know. Also, from this chapter, you can see that we don't find out about Sasuke. We still don't know whether Sasuke is alive or dead, right? But what we do know is the cut on Code's eye was most likely because of Boruto. And I think in my last video, I said that Code didn't find Boruto, but he only said 2 years. So I think him and Boruto did run into each other before obviously this interaction here, because obviously they would have had to if he got a slash on his eye and if it was Boruto. And then we get the cool fights between Ina, Shikacho and Kawaki as well. But we've not seen Kawaki and Boruto interact yet, so that's obviously going to be a really cool fight. But I'm guessing they're not going to interact, at least for a little bit, right? Because I'm sure Kishimoto wants to set that up. And obviously I can't wait to see Sarada and Boruto talk, because I think that's when we're going to find out if Sasuke is alive or not. I'm sure even Sarada's thinking that as well. But look, guys, tell me what you think about me reviewing this chapter. If you guys want me to review the next chapter, well, I'll probably do it anyway, but you know, it would help to know that you guys want me to. And yeah, you guys let me know what you thought about this chapter. And look, I want to go more in depth on some of these points here in a different video, so you guys let me know if you'd like that as well. And yeah, look, this has been Anime K, and peace. I'm out. Thank you for watching, listening, or however you choose to indulge in my content. Peace, I'm out. Can you believe we have to wait a month for the next chapter? Like, yeah, bye, I'm out.